Hey guys, hey, it's Bri here and welcome back to Bootober. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to use the law of attraction to receive money. It is totally and completely possible. Trust me on this one. So with that said, let's get to talking. So one of the things I get asked a lot is money, 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 money. This seems to be a huge topic right now. Like I get messages, I can wake up to like 4 or 5 messages on people saying, I want more money, I need to figure out how to make more money, I want to blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, we've all been there, right? We've all been in the debt hole. We have all worried about money at some point. We all maybe have not been in the debt hole. Minor student loans and medical bills, what's up? Plus I had a thing for Maurice's at one time. Don't do it, don't do it. Anywho's, so one of the things though I want you to first do is stop worrying about money. Stop it. Stop talking about it. Stop putting it out there that money is so hard. Stop being like, I have to work just to get money. Don't do it. Next thing I want you to do is just write it down. Be like, I am going to make $1,000 this month. Or this month. I am going to make $1,000 this week. Please, I hope everybody out there is making more than $1,000 a month. Please, 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 please. Nobody can live off $1,000 a month. It's not possible nowadays, right? But the very, before we get into the full details, the very first thing I want you to understand is that money is a form of energy. It is a form of freaking energy. And the thing about it is that it used to not be as big as it is now. It used to be this teeny tiny thing. It used to just be something that, you know, we would barter or trade, because we have to trade energy. You know, when I do my readings, there's a trade of energy. Usually it is money. Sometimes I will trade somebody, like if they have a crystal jewelry piece or something like that that I want to trade with, I will trade them in that way. Or if I just had some work done at my house and so I traded them with the reading. It's still a form of trade of energy, right? But money is, we have made money like the biggest form of energy. Human beings have made it. It used to be that we could trade goats, pigs, something like that for energy. That used to be it. And we'd be done. But as human beings, we are the ones that made money this huge thing. We put it up on this pedestal and now we gotta knock it down. Now we gotta take it off, because money wants to be our best friend. Money wants to be in our lives. It wants to be with us all the time. It wants us to go and explore life also. It wants us to go and do the things that we want to do that require money. And it's like, I wanna go with you, I wanna travel, I wanna go and see those places, I wanna buy that thing that you want to buy. Like, let's go do this. But we have put it up on a pedestal and it's time we knock it down, because money doesn't want to be up on that pedestal either. The next thing that I did here is that I heard this, I think I was listening to a live actually, and now that I think about it, but when she was reading her cards, it pretty much said, the universe put a trust fund aside. When we were born, the universe made a trust fund for each and every single one of us with an unlimited amount of money. So now it's time to get access to that trust fund. We just have to get access to it. So I played a little trick this month because I was like, I wanna be able to make this video, and I don't wanna be like, okay, well, you know, money is easy, it's easy, but not seeing it myself. Like, I don't like to make videos if I have not seen the results myself. So when I moved from Wyoming to South Carolina, I had to use my savings. I mean, that's what it was there for, right? I had saved up all this money. Well, now my savings was down to like $200 and it was freaking me out. So instead of freaking out about it, I made a goal through the month of September to manifest $1,000 back into my savings. where it will stay. I don't like to touch I like to have that $1,000 at least sitting there. I would like more than that in my savings, but at least that much, right? So I put it out there. I said for the month of September, I'm going to put $1,000 in my savings, and it's going to stay there. That's where it's going to stay. Guess what? I don't know how I did it. I really and truly don't know how. I sold jewelry, I had readings, I like worked a couple extra hours. I mean, I was hustling and bustling in September and didn't even realize it until I looked at my bank account yesterday morning and went, I have exactly $1,000 in my savings. Exactly. And I can still pay my mortgage payment. My mortgage payment was set aside in my checking, and in my savings is my $1,000. I just sat there like, when did this happen? I don't even remember it. All I remember is all of a sudden it was easier because I stopped freaking out about it. I stopped worrying about it. I wrote it down on an intention. I wrote a check into my savings. I wrote like one of those law of attraction checks, which you can find on Google. Like you can just Google in law of attraction check, write down how much you want to do. I put into my savings $1,000. I put a date, which was the end of September. And when I looked in my savings account, there it was. And I just sat there for a second and I was like, all right, now I can go make this video because now I can tell you guys it works. But I had to stop freaking out about it. I had to stop holding on to it so tightly. And I had to put, I think I learned this from Abraham Hicks, one of her videos, but I had to put money on the couch with me and have a therapy session and say, I love you too. You know, money's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. I want to be in your life. Like, why don't you love me? Like, come on, let's go and do this stuff. And I had to do the same thing. And I had to start thinking of money as a form of energy. Now, the next thing that I highly recommend is always doing something that is gonna help bring it back. So when you spend money, just say it's gonna come back to me. I do it every single time. If I receive money or something like that, I imagine that person also receiving the money back somehow in a different form. When people book readings with me, I am always putting it out there that they are going to receive the money that they paid for their readings back in another form. You know, so yes, I am very grateful that they have paid me for a reading, but I also want them to be like little money manifestor people too, right? Like I want everybody that comes to me for a reading to manifest the life that they want also. That's why I do what I do. I don't do it just so that I can live this big luxurious life one day. I do it to help other people to live a better life also. But I also want to lead by example, right? I want you guys to see that if I can do it, you can do it. Just like moving clear across the country, I showed everybody that you could do it. That is another thing. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna afford this? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? And I stopped worrying about it, okay? Because all of a sudden, when you're buying a house and you're moving clear across the country, that's a lot of expenses all on its own, right? Like, holy crap. You have inspections, you have like fees, you have like all of the stuff that you have to do, and you're just like, why? Why do they make it so hard to buy a house? Why do you have to spend so much money just to get into the house, right? It's totally and completely worth it, I'm not gonna lie, because I really love my house. But again, I had to do a lot of spending the money, but I also stopped thinking about it like that. I was like, okay, instead of me sitting here and being like, I am spending so much money right now, I'm just gonna be like, okay, it's gonna come to me. I am meant to move clear across the country. This is what the universe wants from me. This is where I'm supposed to go because I'm going to be helping people down south to also awaken and get into their own gifts, and a couple of more things that are coming up in the future that I'm not ready to talk about just yet, mainly because the person involved is not ready to talk about it either. But you know, a few things are going to be happening in the future. And so with that said, I was like, it's supposed to happen. It's meant to happen. So I'm going to stop stressing about it. In the time that I stopped stressing, I realized that I had money in a different savings account that I had completely forgotten about. A family member stepped up and said, hey, I want to help you. Like, this is your dream. Let me help you, please. And it was just all of a sudden the money was flowing a whole lot easier. And everything was being paid off in time like I wanted it to be. Everything was happening. I had a family member that also stepped in and said, hey, I want to help you. I'll drive your car. clear across the country with you also. So that kind of helped. And they actually paid for the meals. So while I paid for the hotel and the gas, they actually paid for the meals. So it kind of helped also, because eating is kind of expensive sometimes too. I agree, but I love to eat, so it is what it is. So with that said, remember, money is just a form of energy. Stop putting it up on a huge pedestal. Please stop putting it up there. It does not belong up on that pedestal. Bring it back down, okay? Bring it back down. Remember that money also loves you. Remember that you have a trust fund out there. You know, I tell people all the time, I have a trust fund. I'm a trust fund, baby. I have a trust fund. That's just what I say. You know, because I do. The universe already put a trust fund out there for me when I was born. So, and it did for everybody else also. We just gotta believe in it and believe. Believe. If you need to pay rent or you need to pay your mortgage payment and you're like, I don't know where this money is gonna come from, believe that it's gonna show up. I do every single time. I'm like, okay, it's just gonna show up. It's just gonna show up. I have a huge payment that is coming up, and instead of freaking out about it, I'm just like, okay, it's gonna show up. I'm gonna manifest it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna manifest it. It's gonna show up for me. And it's going to, because I believe. I truly and completely believe. And believe and trust the universe, and believe and trust yourself, because you can totally do it. And hustle on your dreams, nobody else's. When you are focusing on your own dream, when you are focusing on what it is that you want to do, things start to flow that much better. When you are helping other people, things flow that much better. When you are working on your own dreams, things seem to flow that much better. Now, I'm not saying go and help people just so that you can get money. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is not a good thing to do. Help people because you want to help them. And that is the other thing. Do what you want to do because you want to do it. Okay? Stop putting it up on a pedestal. Just stop doing it. It's not worth it. And if you've got to, start listening to meditations that are going to help you out with money. Start listening to people who have money. Start hanging out with people who have money. Start going places. If you want to buy a new stove, okay, well, that's also another thing, because my stove is about to take the kaboom. So I'm going to Lowe's. Almost every single day I go to Lowe's and I physically touch the stove that I want to manifest. I physically touch it. I have a picture of it up on my fridge. I look at it every single day, because one way or another, I'm going to manifest to paying that stove in full with cash. That's what I tell myself, in full with cash. Okay? So stop putting it up on a pedestal. I think I said it a few times, but I feel like I gotta say it a couple more times. Money is just a form of energy. And with that said, I hope that you guys all make the money that you want to make this month. I hope that you all manifest the crap out of your lives. And with that said, I love you guys. Bye.